Bamini, the Deputy Transport Minister, encoding Komo, Emra Ura, Hassan Tampuli, Ewa Homaso, Namino, ending Komo. Rabo, Otimeka, good morning.
Good morning.
Na, Empombo, dear.
Naminadum,
very well. Eradi adom what the young kwacha pay yada say your boy promo waji so. Now first of all, transport unions are a war on my Ghana mo aka ediasi so free juada eba and womo aya announcement say and they looking at the persistent increases are eba with our fuel, petrol, diesel, energy keka ka plus lubricant and spare parts are womo 20 and then womo pay transport fares more by 20%. Mother body GBL to you, so Ajia to Musa, SSS and to Mono, 8 member. But yeah, that's sorry, yeah. We are told some ministry say illegal and the Ghanaians must disregard it. Mamintio, I was sound come away home.
So, Zena Okayano. Let me say, you say, she shabia at the hall. A first, a lorry fair, it's not just today.
Kessben
92.9. A answer na you bet to lorry fair bono. A buying penny for ni transport owners. Ya na ye sinkunya na ye bobo ni mo na ye share a quantum of increase in the petroleum prices, inflation, exchange rate. Ni kikaka. The coming in a boom one, ya kotanase or roundtable meeting. Now, ya negotiation based on the formula that has been agreed between the parties over the period. Now, ya who say, okay, a fuel price, say na cost inflation, say, you want formula, yeah, you use. Now, a road transport operators, now, obey, say it was a formula. The last increment, we sat down, we agreed on that one. The last two ones, even the last ones before this one, again. They are near unilateral meeting. It's a transport owners and BBC, Ministry of Transport. So yes, we are BBC. Team Biano, we sit down, we have a conversation, and then we come out with the numbers. That is agreeable to all. After all, we are all serving the Ghanaian people. So when we heard that there has been some decision, we knew that it was not right because started saying we met yesterday with the transport operators. They have requested for extension of rescheduling of the meeting to Friday. Until we have not met, we have not agreed on any increment in lorry fares. So as far as the ministry is concerned, the status quo remains until we have that meeting and we come out with an agreed amount.
Okay. But Honorable Minister, it seems the transport sector, driver unions, and car owners near there. This is the only sector. Anytime we are now, when we increase it first, they have to consult with government. But one more can say there's an already existing agreement. Say any point in time, we are now the rate of increment. It be drew over 10%. There has to be a corresponding increases in terms of transport fares. But all this while, one more ministry, aboard the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council, one more mandated body, the responses are not forthcoming. The more reason why I want
Well, I don't know what to say about this, but what it means is that we have not had that meeting. And the trigger for the increment in the prices of petroleum products is one that everybody understands. If prices of petroleum products cost 10% and above, there is need for us to come back to the negotiating table. It doesn't say that one party should unilaterally decide and go and do as they please. The formula says that then it means that the negotiations have been triggered. So we should come back, have a negotiation, and then we'll come out with the appropriate adjustment. What you here? So it says 10%. So as long as it hits the 10%, it could even be 15%, 20%. But the threshold no 10%. It is a 10% trigger. Not say ABI could do 15% and now say 20% and now 25%. What is the quantum of increase at the pump, at the lorry fare? That is what we normally sit down to discuss. And we sit down, we discuss for and on behalf of the Ghanaian people, the traveling public, everybody. We agree on all of these things because of them. So government has a duty and a responsibility to ensure that the lorry fares that are going to be increased are done in accordance with the agreed formula. That's what we are saying. That formula has not been. We haven't discussed the formula.
Yes, but their concern is a delay.
If you ask our friends and they are our partners, if you ask them whether we had that meeting, the response will be negative. We haven't had that meeting.
Okay, but for now meeting implementation we are told say drivers I start say edge. Now what would the ministry do about it?
As far as we are concerned, there is no increment, and we do not see this implementation as done in good faith. We believe that the driver the vehicle operators would come back to the ministry as we agreed yesterday, so that we have a meeting again tomorrow to come up with this. Otherwise, if we leave this space, to the whims and caprices of all of us, I don't know what's going to happen next. So please, come back. Let's have that conversation as we've always been doing, and I believe we'll come back to the formula that has always been triggered, and we'll reach an agreement.
But is there a need for any sort of increment? Say a bit me about you've been a former boss at the NPA. The increase in fuel, the demand for transport first increment, is sustainable by the drivers. Any argument I want to pursue now.
The price of petroleum products on the international market definitely has been on the rise. So that there's no question about that one. It's the price that is dictating all of these things. And the international market, of course, the conflict in Ukraine, has brought a strain on every economy across the globe. No matter how big or small the economy is, to feel the impact. Kessben. So coming from them, we are now confronted with the issue of Ukraine. And so, yes, that is the reality, and we have to live by it until such a time that the global economy would come back to its strength again. So yes, the price on the international market does not do us any good for now, but that doesn't mean that one party should unilaterally decide to increase lorry fares, and make the lot of the Ghanaian people worse. We have to come back and then have that discussion that we'll be having. And it's a long-standing one. If you, like I said, would be transport operators, whether we have had that meeting that we usually have, they will tell you that we haven't had that meeting. We only started yesterday, and we are meeting again tomorrow.
Okay. Now the point again is ministry, any council, what percentage terms will you be looking at increment, from Momo side?
Well, we cannot second guess what the negotiation is going to be. So let's meet, and we'll put all the information in the box. There's a formula. They know it. They know it. They have a consultant who does the calculation for them. So the ministry doesn't impose it even on them. They know the formula. We know the formula. So we all agree, and we negotiate, and we look at all the parameters, and then we come to a certain conclusion. Then a statement is issued, jointly issued by all the parties.
Okay.
That has been the practice.
Okay. How about them
good practice.
But confirm when they say the ordinary Ghanaian our passenger will fall victim of the air cost no can afford passengers one day driver for need Jessica. What should happen? Because it looks as if say we are in a state of dilemma. Drivers need one budget, passengers need so every day because they say we are told say illegal.
Yeah, like I said, for now, I think that the driver union should suspend the collection of the new fares until such a time that we have that meeting. I think that's the right thing to do, and it is in the interest of all of us It is in the interest of also, us dealing with some certainty and predictability of price of the system, so that Ghanaian people don't just wake up one day and then they are told that lorry fares are increasing unilaterally. Normally, when we even do this thing, we don't immediately even trigger the increase. Sometimes we give the motoring public about 2 weeks or 1 week notice that, new fares ever take it off from this or that date. We don't just do it today and then we say that tomorrow it is taking off. No, well, that's not how it's done. And then we can continue the partnership between the ministry and the driver unions. They've always been our partners, and we continue to cherish them, and then the way that we'll be working. And we want to come back to the negotiating table so that we continue with that arrangement.
All right. Honorable, I'm grateful. Okay. The Honorable Hassan Tampoli, a Deputy Minister for Transport, and I know a ding commono now. Ministry say illegal, say driver for no a 20% increment. They are expecting them to come back to the table and draw moko shia meeting no announcing kita hudie na we pay or more pushi ede akwakwa koshe china nyame adoma efiada.